Hey guys, Chris here. Today I'm going to review the Nio EL7, which also happens to be the most annoying good car I've tested in a long time. It's so annoying and so good that it's just frustrating, and in today's video I'm going to tell you guys why. I wanted to start this video by talking about the positives, about the things I like about this car, because there are actually a lot of things I really like about this car that this car gets spot on and does better than almost every car in this price segment, this size let alone. And then I wanted to talk about, the bad things, the negatives, the annoying things at the end of the video. But that's not possible because I have to start talking about, before we even start driving, about things you have to do every time you get into the car, and that is turn off so many warnings and assistance systems. If you saw my ET7 review from a few weeks ago, it's the same thing. Lane keep assist, lane warning, and then also speed limit warning. Three things you have to turn off every time you get into the car. I wish that it just, you could turn it off once every day, and then it would stay off maybe once every hour. But if you're just, going to the shops and then popping in and out, it's super annoying. So with that out of the way, let's talk about a few positive things. So this car is very competitively priced. This car, equipped this way with all the bells and whistles, without the battery pack, because this is a Nio. You can, lease the battery pack, and then you have access to the power swap stations. You have like free 200 kilowatt hours per month in battery swap, or you can use that at DC fast chargers. Nio doesn't discriminate, so if you want to go and do just fast charging and not use their power swap stations, they're going to give you that 200 kilowatt hours in that monthly price. And I think for the small battery pack, it's 1,400 kroners, and for the big one, it's about 2,000 kroners. So 140 euros and 200 euros. And you can already hear the car binging and bonging. So, yeah, bings and bongs. I don't know why it's binging now, because we're going 30 kilometers an hour. The speed limit here is 50. Not sure why it's bonging. It's not giving any visual cues to why it's bonging. And that's the thing about this car. So, okay, I want to talk about the positives, but another thing while we're talking about binging and bonging, this has the Know Me assistance system. So you have this. Why are you bonging? Was that because there was a cyclist there? It's so frustrating to drive this car, and it's so annoying because it's so good at the same time. So did I forget to turn off speed limit warning? Yeah, so if you do anything, it's going to give you a message. Keep focus. That's the Know Me assistance system that you cannot turn off. And there's like a droid, this face on the dashboard with eyes. You feel like you're being monitored and just surveilled all the time. Even when I'm doing the B-roll shots for the interior and I'm standing there on the outside of the car filming through the passenger door, it's like following me. It's super creepy. I don't know. So I was gonna see here if I turn off the speed limit warning. No, I actually didn't turn that off. So we have to see that all the other, yeah. So you can't do anything in this car. I'm just trying to turn off the warnings. Sometimes if you look at the display here too long, it's going to give you keep focus, keep focus, keep focus. Once I was just on my way here, I was adjusting the climate. I was turning up the temperature, and then the buttons are so small, so it's kind of hard to hit them, like in a Tesla Model 3. And it's like, keep focus, keep focus, keep focus. You can't do anything in this car except driving. And I understand that is a very important safety feature, that the car is, warning you, like giving you messages if you're doing anything else, like you're on your phone or anything. But the fact that you can't even look at the screen for too long in front of you, you can't do anything in the menu or even adjust the climate system before the car starts beeping and bonging at you, is just super annoying. And this car is more aggressive than it was in the Nio ET7 I drove. And also when you turn off lane keep assist and all of those warnings, like people, if I didn't, do this in real time, people might think like you're exaggerating. But you've seen how many times, we've been filming for 4 minutes now, how many times this car has just beeped and bonged. So we have no cars behind us. Maybe we can just stop here, turn off, there we go. The lane changing assistant. So this is a shorter review because I've only had this car for a few days. I don't have time to do my proper reviewing. You know that this takes a whole day of filming, so you're getting like more of a one take here. But yeah, so I want to talk about the positives. So let's talk about the positives. Very competitively priced. You know, this is about the same size as an Audi Q8 e-tron, but spec for spec, it's going to be about 20,000 euros cheaper, which is really, really good because it's just as quiet. It's almost as nicely built here on the inside, and also the ride quality is pretty good. As I said with the Nio ET7, these Nios don't drive like German cars, even though reviewers have talked about them driving like German cars. German cars have this sense of solidity. They feel like they're indestructible going down a road. This doesn't feel like that. And also German cars usually have very sophisticated and refined suspension where they take off, you know, that top layer of harshness on the road, and then they do the damping from there. This doesn't do that. You know, compared to the Q4 e-tron, you know, which is a smaller car than this, but it's actually quite expensive when you start optioning it, rides so much better than this car, even though this car is on air suspension. So that is just something to note. But this is more quiet than that Q4, probably as quiet as a Q8 e-tron. So you're getting a lot of money, a lot of car for your money. Also performance, 650 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in like 3.8 seconds. Yeah, if you compare this to like a Q8 e-tron S, this like blows that out of the water value-wise. And you're getting the same space. You're getting a trunk that's almost as big. This is a a tall SUV. I think it's actually a higher, taller. I think you sit higher in the cabin. So it's overall a very nice driving experience, except for the steering, which is just really weird. Maybe because this car is on winter tires. I don't know why Nio gave me a car like at the end of May on winter tires, but that may be the reason. So I feel like it's wandering, like the steering is so numb and dead around center that the car just wanders and walks a little bit in the lane. And this isn't on even, any wide tires. That may be the reason. I'll have to test this on summer tires again, but the Nio ET7, one of the weaknesses of that car is the steering, just compared to like a normal premium German car. And Nio is a premium brand. Like in China, they have a footholding as being a premium brand, and from everything you can see, this is premium. So I like the interior, I like the build quality, I like this haptics faux leather they use here on the interior, one of the nicest like faux leathers. And there, I'm just looking around the camera, it's telling me to keep focus. It's so annoying and frustrating because otherwise this car has good range, it's nice to drive, it's quiet, it's comfortable, the seats are good, the interior is nice, the exterior styling is really good, the trunk is big, great value for your money. But the fact that it just bings and bongs at you for everything is a real deal breaker. Like, I can't drive this car without getting frustrated and annoyed. And then you have other negative things like charging speed. With this battery pack, the 100 kilowatt hour gross capacity only has a peak charge speed of 126 kilowatts. What's up with that? Even the 75 kilowatt hour version gives you like 140 kilowatts. Doesn't make any sense. Probably because the 75 kilowatt hour version is a newer battery with different chemistry, but still, what other car with a big battery than this, like this, charges this slowly? So like 10 to 80% is like 45 minutes. So if you're using this car on long trips a lot, it's not good. And also talking about long trips, the autonomous driving features like lane keep assist and also lane centering like auto steer, terrible. This car has a LiDAR, which should be top of the line when it comes to radar and visual technology, but it's terrible. The car bounces on the lane, it auto brakes, it phantom brakes. It's like every time, like, what's up with people? People are just hopping in front of the car today. Yeah, it's just terrible to use. Like, go watch my Nio ET7 long trip test. I talk about it extensively there. Yeah, so I don't know. I like the exterior, I like the interior, I like the ride comfort, I like the quietness, I like the plush cabin, the materials. I like the way it looks, I like their value, their pricing, but I don't like driving it. Like, it's so annoying to drive, bings and bongs and beeps at you, and also like just, interior ergonomics aren't really good. No mirror switches here. Also, to do just simple things, you have to go into the menu, like drive modes. Also, it doesn't give you that full power except when you are in Sport Plus mode. So you actually have 3 power outputs: Comfort, and then you have Sport, and then Sport Plus. And as you go through the modes, you're getting more power, which is annoying. Like, if you drive on a lot of roads here in Norway, which are 2-lane country roads, you just want to have that power instantly if you want to do some passing. You don't want to, there's a button, I'm going to give them that, but you don't want to, be changing your modes, because it's going to change your suspension, it's going to change your throttle calibration, your steering feel and weight, and all of those things, which is just annoying. I understood if there was like 2 different power modes, like normal and then Sport Plus. That would make sense, but you can't. Yeah, this car, like in normal mode, it's quite slow. I think like 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, it doesn't even tell you, but I think it's around like 8 seconds. So yeah, let's go to the conclusion. I think I've ranted enough about this car. As I said in the intro, this is one of the most, if not the most annoying good car I've driven in a long time, because the discrepancy between the good things and the bad and annoying things is so big that it's just frustrating. Like, the fundamentals here are great. The fundamentals, the building blocks for an awesome car are here. The chassis, the comfort, the quietness, the interior design and interior quality, the exterior design, the value and pricing, all of that. Like, the package here is awesome, but it's let down and falls flat on its face with some of, the controls, ergonomics, interactions, but mostly the software and how annoying this car is to interact with. If you could turn all of that off, this would be a great car. And also the auto steer functionality, pretty terrible. So everything that has to do with software in this car is super annoying. And also, something I didn't talk about, like with the ET7, this EL7 has had a lot of bugs. Spotify not wanting to work, the navigation system like doing 360 spins and just being annoying that I have to change the screen. And also the car doesn't want to like start when you get into it. So this car, you just have the key on your person, you sit in the driver's seat, and then you put your foot on the brake, and then you put it into drive or to reverse. Then you can go. That's not the case every time. I've had several instances in the few days I've had with this car where it just doesn't want to do anything. I have to get out of the car and get into the car. Super annoying. So like, the software experience is not only, what they've built in purposely, but also like the bugs with a lot of the software. I haven't had the same issue I had with ET7, where the car didn't want to unlock while walking up to it or lock while walking away from it, which is a feature it has. And when that didn't work, it didn't even want to work on the key. So a lot of annoying like kinks and bugs that just make already a frustrating experience bad. And also, like the ET7, the stereo here is just terrible. It's a deal breaker. It's not good by any measure. People talked about the ET7 having a sound system that's won awards, and there must have been something faulty with that car. I asked them, there's like nothing faulty with that car. No other complaints about the sound system being faulty, so that's just the way it is. This car doesn't have a rattly interior like that ET7, thankfully, but the stereo system is equally as bad. Once you start demanding a little bit more than medium sound, like volume, it just falls completely flat. Like, the speakers start to distort, there's no dynamic range, no liveliness in the midtones, and the highs are completely flat. This sound system doesn't have one redeeming feature, and I like to think of myself as kind of an audiophile. I don't know everything about audio, I'm not an expert, but I've been enjoying great sound systems. I've grown up with great sound systems at home. I've had them personally, so I've been listening to good sound systems and great sound systems since I was a kid. I've had a lot of cars with really good sound systems. Bowers & Wilkins in Volvo, which has won multiple awards and been shown to be one of the best, sound systems in independent testings of cars, or sound systems costing less than 10,000 euros in any car. That is you know, a benchmark, this is not even like 1/10 of that sound system. My Porsche Taycan has the upgraded Bose sound system that a lot of people are like, ah, it's not very good. It's kind of bad for being in a car that expensive, and also the price they're demanding for that. I think it's quite decent. I do agree it's not worth the price tag, but it's actually quite decent. It's actually quite good. This makes that sound system sound like an IMAX theater sound system. I mean, this is so bad. It doesn't have one redeeming feature. So until they fix software issues, until they fix the sound system here, and also maybe the steering, I can't actually recommend this car to anybody. As good, as nice as it is to drive, as nice as the interior is, as much as I like the exterior, and as good as value this car gives you, the annoying things just flatly outweighs the good features. So guys, let me know what you think down below, because I was really hoping to like this car, and I do like a lot of it, but the annoying things just really outweigh the good things. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys there, and goodbye.